Hello there. How are you today? Pastor Patrick here, and it's time for us to get into the Word. Today, we'll look into Psalm chapter 37, verse 3 to 4, verses 10 to 11, and verse 16. Psalm chapter 37, verse 3 to 4 has these words to say. It says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." He says, if there be any desire that we have, it is for us to delight ourselves in the Lord, or to choose to live the godly life, to choose to live the way God desires for us to live, and that is to hold Him of utmost importance. Verses 10 to 11 has these words to say. It says, "In just a little while, the wicked will be no more. Though you look carefully at his place, he will not be there. But the meek shall inherit the land and delight themselves in abundant peace." What does it say? It says, if you choose to live the godly life, you will have an abundant life. As compared to the wicked, probably at times we may look at what they have and what they're enjoying, and we seem to be kind of a bit drawn to it and say like, wow, I wish I have that kind of life as well. Looking into our life, choosing to be godly at times, probably it doesn't compare as much materially with the wicked. And yet God says, you know what? What they have simply comes and goes. What they have is not something that truly satisfies. And so we read verse 16, he says, "Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of many wicked." There's the comparison there. And God is saying, you know what? If you choose to live the godly life, though you may have something little, but it's far better than what the wicked has, though it seems so much. See, the kind of life that God desires for us to live, the godly life, is actually an abundant kind of life. It's a life that is not just merely trying to get through from day to day, but it's a life of abundance. It's a life that has way more than enough from day to day. Even though the righteous is described here in the Bible as having little as compared to the wicked, but see, that little is more than enough when God is the one blessing your life. And that makes all the difference there. See, when you got God, and it is God blessing you, the blessing you have is something that does not come and go. The blessing you have is not just something that satisfies on the surface, but doesn't truly and fully satisfy. The blessing you have is far more than enough, because the very blessing you got, first and foremost, is God Himself. When God Himself becomes your delight and mine, when it is God Himself who makes or occupies primary place of importance in our lives, then your desires are fulfilled in our daily walk with Him. Why? Because you don't just have material possessions that's here today and gone tomorrow. You don't just have anything here that is very much temporary. You have God Himself. And when you commune with God from day to day, you got the greatest blessing ever. And you are satisfied. Now, of course, God is a God who blesses us at times with material possessions. But God may choose not to do so. But whatever the case may be, if God blesses us with material wealth, to us, material wealth is not what truly satisfies. Instead, we are entrusted with something so valuable by God in the form of resources, so that as we are entrusted with that, He may use us and these resources as channels for His purposes here on earth. There's a difference there. We may still be blessed materially, but it is not where we find our greatest delight and satisfaction. We still thank God for how He will bless us, but we see it as something entrusted to us as stewards for His greater purposes here on earth. See, it is important then that we settle in our hearts to choose to pursue God more than anything else. And probably for some of us, having that kind of life was something that be fearful for you. Believing that, hey, if I only got God and I don't have these things and possessions, what kind of life will I have? What will somehow meet my needs? See, it's an act of faith. It's an act of committing one's life to the Lord and say, Lord, you said so, that you are enough. You got more than enough. And so in faith, I respond to you and I give my life to you. Shape my heart, Lord. Change my heart. Make me desire for you far more than riches or gold. Make me find my greatest delight in you. And then we will realize that we will overflow with peace, with rest, with joy, with genuine satisfaction in the Lord instead of fear. Reflect on this passage. If there be anything that the Lord has impressed in your heart, in your mind, you'd like to share with us, write it in the comment box below. Until the next day, in the Word of God, God bless you.